Marin, you answer your phone right now. Marin!
What the heck do you want from me, you freaking annoyance? You're the one that's going to have to go in and clean everything up now, right? Like you've always been forced to do for me before. So I have nothing to care about anymore regarding you.
So far, I haven't been able to get anything out of Porter. And you're the only other person who could be with him right now, and that's why I need to talk with you. Did you think what you both did to me would be accepted by me? Would be accepted by everyone else here at this wedding venue?
We had no other choice, okay? I happen to be the one that Porter chose after all. But I do feel a bit bad for you. After you had your husband run away from you on the day of your guys' wedding with me. And the fact that he ran off with me, your little sister, is even more insane. It's like we're living inside some sort of a drama right now, right? I feel so sorry for you.
Are you making fun of me?
I am not making fun of you, alright? If anything, I really pity you right now after what all had to happen. Don't you think? I mean, up until today, you never once knew anything about how Porter and I had been meeting behind your back, right? That right there is just so depressing. And I'm sure you're in serious pain now having heard that from me. I can't stop laughing about it, actually.
So what you're saying is you and Porter had plans of this way before today? Plans for you to come here right before this wedding began, where you could take him from the changing room and run off? Today was the day of our wedding, though. The day of your older sister's wedding, of all things. What the hell were you both thinking? Aren't I supposed to be like family to you?
It's too late to say anything about it now. Him and I already took one another's hand and ran off, away from your wedding. How about you just go around to all the guests and say you're sorry for what unfolded today, and end the wedding there? I'm sure you wouldn't want to keep all your guests waiting any longer than they've had to, right?
You don't get a say in what I do next. I want you to grab Porter and come back here right now before things become irreparable for you. You don't even know what kind of a person Porter truly is deep down, so you shouldn't be running off with him now.
No matter what someone like you, who got thrown aside by Porter, has to say to me, is going to actually cause me any damage. Anyhow, him and I are going to do what him and I want to do together to become happy. So you don't have to talk to us anymore, please. Run along and fix that mess you're in now and forget we both ever existed. Jolene, have you gotten the invitation from me yet?
What? Marin? You have no right texting me again after what happened. I got that invitation you're asking me about, but I thought that was just one of your cynical jokes or something. So I went ahead and tossed it straight into the trash can the other day.
Why would I ever joke around with you by sending an invitation for our wedding? Go and get that letter and invitation out of the trash can right now, please. And does this mean you still haven't taken a look at what's inside of it?
Not yet. And I'm guessing that the man you're marrying is…
That's right, it's Porter. Ever since him and I ran away from your wedding together, we've been living together as a very happy couple. We've already got a place of our own together where we're at now, and Porter was able to get a job transfer so that he didn't have to find a completely new one. That is why, as a way of sharing to the world just how happy and successful we are with one another, we're going to have a wedding. You come out here with Mom and everyone, okay? We made sure to find the best wedding venue we could here, and are going to decorate it all up very fancy so that everyone knows we're doing well too.
I was wondering what you'd have to say to me after going months and months without saying a single word to any one of us. Do you really think that anyone wants to go to your wedding?
What's all that about? Are you really still upset about what happened then? You really are the type to always hold on to the past like that. But it wasn't a big deal what happened. And it had to happen since that's what Porter wanted. I guess I'm sorry for stealing your fiancé away from you on the day of your guys' wedding. Does that make you happy to hear from me now? I sure hope it does, because I really don't know what else I could say to you now. Since you are both my family, you and Mom will have to come out and see my wedding, right?
How confident of you. You're saying that like there's not an atom within you that thinks we'll just say no.
Because I've already gone and apologized to you now. There's no other reason for not coming, right? Now, come out to my wedding for your cute little sister's sake. And of course, make sure that the rest of the family and you bring lots of presents for Porter and I.
So what you're saying is my feelings about what happened back then don't matter? If you think about this normally, I should never want to go out with you and celebrate the person who ruined my wedding's happiness, right? So why are you still talking to me about it like I actually care?
Jolene, you really are so narrow-minded. It has been half a year now since all that happened, right? You should be over someone like Porter leaving you now, and be aware that I didn't mean anything by taking him away from you that day. So, could you just shut the heck up and forgive me already?
This isn't just up to me is the thing, though. Where you both are living now is very far away from us, and that would mean all of our family would have to come to you.
Well, I suppose that's another reason, huh? So how about you go and talk with Mom about it right now and see what she has to say? Although I'm sure she would never say no to coming out for my wedding. Even if it's as far away from you guys as this wedding is.
Mom, do you have a second to talk?
Sure I do. What do you want to talk about, Jolene?
Actually, just a second ago, I got a few texts from Marin again.
From Marin? She has been away from the rest of the family ever since she did that horrible thing to you, and has not once spoken to any of us. What did she text you about?
She told me that her and Porter are having a wedding now, and that she wanted me to talk with you about going to it.
What the hell? Are you sure she was being serious about that?
She seemed pretty serious about it to me. Actually, a little while back, I got a letter in the mail from her that was an invitation to her wedding, but I took that as some kind of a sick joke from her. However, now she's gone and spoken to me over text about that letter. She must be serious about it.
That child! What does she think she's planning to do? She left your wedding a complete and utter mess. And it's not like I've even said I was going to forgive her for what she plans on doing now with that Porter.
She gave me a very lousy sorry. But I'm not going to that wedding no matter what else she has to say to me.
No, I'm going to that wedding.
What? Are you really? What exactly are you thinking of doing there, Mom?
Well, just take a second to think about it and watch. If those two are going to try and pull a fast one on us at that wedding, then we need to be even faster with a plan of our own. This whole time, the whole family has had no idea where Porter and Marin ran off to, and that left them without having to be responsible for any of the things they did to us. But now that Marin has the guts to talk with us all again and invite us out to see her, we should take advantage of it. Go and tell your sister that we'll be coming to her wedding, please.
Understood. If that's what you really are wanting us to do. I just got finished talking with Mom about your wedding a few hours ago.
Really? So, what are you all going to be doing?
Mom said we'd be going.
I knew it! I knew that Mom of all people would want you both to come. She'll always do anything for me, right?
Don't start getting too far ahead of yourself there. By the way, I have something I have to ask you first. Even though you were the one who stole my husband from me, why are you inviting Mom and I and the rest of the family to your wedding?
Why? You should already understand why without having to ask me, right? I want to see your sad and miserable face with my own eyes is why. Having to run out of your wedding with Porter almost immediately that day left me wondering what exactly you looked like standing there with no hope at all in your eyes. So I was thinking this time would be my chance to finally see that miserable face of yours.
So that was the reason you went through with waiting for my wedding day to steal Porter from me? Unbelievable! You have no idea how terrible things were for us after something as unbearable as that had to happen.
I mean, you were bad enough that even Porter was willing to throw you off to the side, right? So how about before you start to pin the blame on anyone else, You blame yourself first.
And I'm sure that this time you're going to do everything you can to rub Porter running away from me in my face again, right?
And that's because I really, really hate you, Jolene.
Why do you hate me so much that you'd be willing to go through with this, though?
The reason why I hate you so much is all because of you.
So you really have not changed at all since the last time we talked. You always try to make things seem as though you're right, and whenever something happened that you hated, you'd blame me for it.
Because they were all your fault. And if anything, it's always been you blaming everyone else for your problems.
At least now I can 100% say that I know you haven't changed at all. And since that's the case, I have something of my own to say now.
I'm not sure what you plan on saying or doing about me, but just make sure you come out to my wedding, okay? Excuse me? What the heck are you doing? Do you know how deplorable you must have to be that jealous of me? Coming into my wedding and ruining it? I will not let you get away with that.
All I was doing was telling everyone here today the truth. And considering that Porter and I are still technically married, I had every right to speak up. What this is here is something even more pathetic than just cheating on me.
Shut up! You're lying right now. Porter told me before that you and him already broke up and things were over with you now.
We may have broken up in terms of our feelings for one another, but before we had that wedding, or tried to, him and I went and made our marriage official at the courthouse. Yet, before anything like a divorce could take place, you and him ran off and stopped talking to everyone. So there was never an official divorce between him and I.
You really think I'm going to believe what you're telling me right now? I was already told by Porter that you and him broke up, which means that all you are to him now is a complete stranger.
If you're really going to still doubt what I've said, then how about you go to the courthouse right now and ask them?
Even if you guys are still married, him and I are deeply in love with one another, so you can't call what we've done cheating.
Deeply in love, huh? Well, would you really call what you both have this deep love when you've had to come and steal your older sister's husband away from her for it? You're just trying to make it sound like what you did to me was warranted at all.
By the way, why now of all times? Now all the guests we invited here today are in complete chaos.
Well, had I not gone out and told everyone right now, then you both would have been able to run away from me again, right? I plan to make today the day that I can get Porter to finally sign those divorce papers I've been holding on to.
You're a bitch. Are you saying that it doesn't matter to you what happens to our happiness?
Absolutely! And I like to think you really do have quite the nerve asking me about that now, too. Now, don't expect what's just happened here to be the end of everything between us.
What next? Are you saying that you have more than just this that you want to do to us?
Like I just said, you both have gone way past a simple affair. Porter has been cheating on me for a long time now, and I have excellent proof of that now. Which is why, with this divorce, I'm going to make sure that both you and Porter have to pay me a settlement.
Huh? You're lying about that, right? A settlement? But you and I are family, Jolene. Yet you're still wanting to get a settlement from me?
It doesn't matter anymore whether you're family to me or not. Also, that is not the only thing that you've done to myself and the families that have led to so many problems.
What are you talking about now? Right now, I have more important things to worry about, like this wedding cost. So get that settlement out of my face.
I don't care about your wedding costs. You'll be getting a letter in the mail along with some documents from my lawyer later. So when that arrives at your place, make sure to open it all up and read everything. And trying to ignore us will only lead to even more legal trouble.
You're a monster, Jolene. So this whole time you were planning on coming to my wedding with the intent of taking away our happiness, right?
You say that like I was the only one thinking that, but this was all Mom's idea to begin with.
This was all Mom's idea? That's right, Mom. She somehow always ends up taking my side in everything. So if I go and tell her all about this, she can finally yell at your stupid ass and end all of this for me.
Well, that's not gonna turn out the way you want it to.
Shut your mouth! I'm going to make you regret ever making such an enemy out of me today. Mom, I will forgive you for everything you did to me during the wedding, as long as you help me out right now. Right now, Jolene is saying that she's going to get a settlement from both Porter and I. You can't believe any of that either, can you? I'm related to her by blood, yet. Wasn't that blood-related family you consider yourself the one that stabbed her in the back first? I don't think you have the right to talk about what my daughter plans to do to you anymore now. That's all in the past now, okay? Now you go and talk with her right now for me, Mom. Tell her to stop thinking about getting one of those settlements from the both of us. I have no reason to be telling her to do something as needless as that. What? Why not, Mom? Because I was the one that told her to go and get a settlement from the both of you in the first place. Unbelievable! I am your actual daughter, right? And so is Jolene. She is more of a daughter to me than you are, actually. And that is why I will never forgive someone like you, who went out and took my daughter's happiness away from her. Why aren't you doing as I ask you to, like you always had been? Because you seem to no longer understand what the hell you've done. Did you really think that I was always going to be your mother, no matter what kind of crap you pulled, and would be there to always clean up the mess for you? It's because of you and that attitude where you think you can just do whatever the hell you want, whenever you want to, that this family has had to go through actual hell. Do you understand that? Ugh. Where did I end up going wrong when I raised you? What the heck, Mom? Why do you have to say things like that about me right now? Well, I have to say them now because of your careless behavior. I know about you stealing money from your father and I in the past all the time, because you never once could stop yourself from spending all your money. Did you really think that would go unnoticed forever? Well, it didn't. And since that moment, I knew something was very wrong with you. And ever since you graduated from university, you haven't done anything with your degree and haven't bothered to even try working. And if you thought all of that was bad, remember that you were also taking my credit card from my purse and using that too when you found out I was no longer putting cash in there. You're my parents, and as such, your job is to give your kids all the money they ask for. Bull! You don't get to say that when you're an adult now and no longer live with us. It's not our fault you still haven't gotten a job and done something with your life to support yourself. So leave us all out of it. Ugh! So maybe I was the only one thinking that I was a part of your family then. We all did think of you as part of this family, even if it was only a little bit. But then you went and ruined your sister's wedding like that, and all those feelings vanished for good. We tried to take best care we could of you before that day. But now this family does not care about you anymore. I have decided to cut ties to you forever, and the rest of the family is going to do the same. Huh? Are you really saying that to me right now? Why are you always taking Jolene's side in everything, and never, ever mine? The same thing always happens with Dad as well, believing in her instead of me. She always has been the one telling me to study harder and be more serious with myself, and whenever I would take even the slightest of breaks, she'd yell at me. That is why I hate her freaking guts, Mom. She's a bitch. So you really haven't realized a damn thing then. About what, though? Your father was always the kind of man with a very rigid structure, where if something he had in mind didn't go to plan, he'd take it out on everyone else. And when it came to your older sister, she had to deal with that a lot more from him than the rest of us. She understood just how horrible it was having to deal with your father being upset, and that's why she made every effort to do all of her homework and focus on school. And why she had to start being more strict with you, because she knew how little you were taking things seriously. Didn't she tell you why your father was always so angry with you and kind to her as you guys got older? Because you never ever listened and always blamed Jolene for all your troubles. What? You never knew just how hard things were for your older sister to not only have to deal with your father at a young age like that, but then have to watch as you went through the same thing for even longer because you never listened to her. I never knew any of that, but do you understand what I'm saying here? You hating your sister for trying to save you from your father is all because you misunderstood things. But it's too late now to be telling me all of that. Anyway, things like that aren't going to change what's happened now, or what we think of you. So please, just leave all of us alone now. This is all your fault, Jolene. All because of these things you sent to me in that letter. We are both fighting one another every single day. I never had any savings to begin with, and all the money that Porter had saved up has gone into that wedding. How the heck are we supposed to pay for your settlements?
Once again, blaming others instead of yourself. And you having hated me all this time is only due to you being the one resenting me for my kindness, right?
I have not resented you for what you've done. I hate you because you always force me to study so much and take everything so seriously. And now, you saying that it was all done in order to try and protect me from Dad. If that was your reason for doing all of that to me back then, why didn't you tell me the truth any sooner?
So you heard about that from Mom then. The only reason she had to wait until now to mention it is because you never bothered to listen to anything I said. I already told you those things a while ago, but you never cared.
I'm sure that might be the case and all, but couldn't you have at least tried understanding me a bit more before talking about that?
The thing is, I could never understand you, and I still can't. All you ever did to me was treat me like I was the problem, and that never ever sat well with me. And all that time throughout high school, whenever I'd get myself a boyfriend, you'd go and steal him from me, right? You would go to them behind my back saying all sorts of lies to get them to hate me, and then run off with them and avoid me. That is why I tried so hard to keep Porter away from you, and almost managed to until those last few months.
I just felt that I was helping them all out. And when I had them in my arms, I figured out they were all boring as heck.
So that's another thing you don't feel any sense of remorse about doing. You just heard that they were my boyfriend, and that was enough to get you to go and take them away from me. I'm sure the same thing can be said for Porter too, right?
What are you talking about? It's been over a half a year now since him and I started to live together with one another, okay? There's no way someone like me could still be with him and not know everything about him.
Well, then you're aware of just how wasteful of a spender he is.
What? A wasteful spender? So now you're going to try and lie about him? There's no way that could be true, or else he would have never been able to save up all that money to pay for our whole wedding.
And do you have any proof that he didn't have to borrow all of that money and go into debt in order to pay?
Wait a second. A wasteful spender? Like to the point he has to go into debt because of it? There's no way that could be the case. If that were true, then why would you have wanted to get married to him before?
Because him and I happen to share the same hobby. He was the first person I had ever met that shares almost all the same interests as me, and things felt good with him. And as long as I looked past all his spending and made sure to save up my money, I thought that would never be a problem for us. Hence why I thought it would be a good idea to get married to him. But even if it was just for a second, taking my eyes off of him meant he spent a ton of money that I couldn't track.
No way. I have never once talked with Porter about his money though, actually. Which means that right now,
I think that man is in a bit of debt right now. Because his character, his behavior, was not something I could turn around for him easily.
What am I going to do about this? I have never worked a day in my life before, and I don't have any savings of my own right now. I don't even have the money to get myself back home to Mom and Dad.
Didn't Mom already cut ties with you the other day? So even if you could make it all the way back to their home, you'd just get kicked out of it and left with nothing at all, right?
That's right. That happened to me. What should I do here, Jolene? I want to break up with Porter right now. I thought that I'd never have to worry about money being with a man like Porter.
I don't care what you do, because I'm a complete stranger to Porter now. Also, I'm fed up with having to deal with you like this. Like, very fed up. So how about the two of you go and figure out all of that on your own?
I will apologize to you for everything I've done up until now. And now I can finally see that you were only doing all those things for me back then because you cared about me. So please, help me.
There's no way that one apology like that is going to get me to forgive you for all the things you might have taken from me, alright? Ain't I some kind of a bitch to you that's always been annoying? Now, you and I aren't ever going to be talking to one another again after this, so please get to work on paying off those settlements for me.
No way! I don't have it in me anymore to live with a man like Porter. Help me, Jolene, please!
I got a message from my lawyer not too long ago, Mom. He told me that both Marion and Porter would finally be paying off the settlements in one lump sum. I just thought I'd let you know about this now so that you were not surprised by anything later on once I'm done with them. But we can both finally say that this is the end for those two, isn't it?
Great work, Jolene. But I am very sorry. Had your father and I did a better job of taking care of Marin, things like this would have never had happened to you.
You can't blame yourself for it all. Marin has always been such a spoiled and self-centered child who thought she was always in the right. I was aware of how often you would warn her off for behaving like that, but I just wish you made things a bit more personal between the two of you. Just know that I don't really blame you for any of this, okay? Also, you've all gone and cut ties with her now, which makes me feel a whole lot better, knowing that she can't get any of this family's help anymore. And now that I know she won't be getting anywhere without me again, I'm thinking about opening myself back up again and looking for a new man.
Just don't rush yourself, okay? You already had a go at being married, so maybe it's better that you pay attention to yourself instead of trying to find romance again.
It's all right, Mom. I had a full 6 months to focus on myself.
If that was enough time for you to rest, then I'm not going to stop you from getting back out there now.
Sorry if I've been worrying you any recently. But I haven't given up on things like marriage and romance. And that's why this time, I'm going to make sure I find myself a loyal man who wouldn't even think about leaving me for another woman if they came around him. Even though both Marin and Porter were finally going to come around and pay off the settlements I had asked for them, things were just as I'd expected, as Porter had been in some extreme debt for the past half year. Things weren't going to work for either of them if Marin didn't do anything, and so she was forced to get her first ever job and work to support them both. Porter still has the job he'd had when he was with me, but he hasn't been putting any effort into it, so there's no chance he's ever getting promoted or obtaining a raise there. As for the work that Marin was able to find, it primarily is her just working at a ticket booth for the local football team. However, with her bad attitude and poor work ethic, I'm pretty sure she's soon going to be fired from there and have to go out and find another base-level job to work for barely any money. As time has gone on, there happens to be more and more debt being unearthed by her every day that Porter has been hiding, so they tend to get into fights at least 2 times a day, if not for the occasional 3 fights I hear about. But understanding that breaking things off with one another now would only make life hell for the both of them, Marin continues to stay together with Porter, all while constantly complaining about his spending habits. The only problem they'll have with that, though, is a lot of people living in the apartment complex with them have been complaining a lot recently about their fighting. So who's to say they won't be getting evicted soon because of it, and will have to go into even more debt? As for myself, I have finally been able to truly relax again, and that has left me feeling a whole lot better throughout the day at work and at home. And just the other day, I went out with a man for dinner that one of my coworkers introduced me to. He happens to have a lot of hobbies that don't entirely reflect my own. However, what we do have in common with one another, we talk about for hours, and we've made sure to teach one another about our unrelated hobbies another time. He's invited me over to his place this weekend, and all I can say is that I am very excited to hang out with him some more. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We're looking forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey Sandy, how old are you? I happen to be Kevin's current girlfriend, and I go by the name Janet. So it's very nice to meet you after all that time you spent messaging my boyfriend like that. And to be open with you, I'll let you know how old I am. I happen to be a ripe 22 years old. And I'm going to be the one who gets married to Mr. Kevin, a well-known and well-off doctor. So you stop it with all that texting and leave my man alone. I'm sorry, but I'm not quite sure what's going on here. You are Kevin's girlfriend, Janet? How did you end up finding my phone number? It's not like I ever met you in person before, so there's no way you should have it. I went ahead and found it in Kevin's phone contacts and copied it. And right now, both Kevin and I are out having a really good time tonight. He just ended up finishing the fun times he was having with me and is now sleeping peacefully in the hotel bed. His face when he's sleeping is so cute that I just want to go up and kiss him over and over again. So anyway, I went ahead and took a look at his phone, copied your phone number into my contacts, and am now texting with you. So you haven't even told Kevin about how you've gone through his phone or anything yet? I'm sure that if he found out about you doing something like that, he'd be very upset, right? Oh, I'll be fine. The both of us trust one another so much that we told one another our phone's passwords. I mean, him and I are engaged after all, and would never care about one another's privacy like you keep whining about. So that means the both of us can look at one another's smartphones whenever we please, right? And by now, the two of us are going to get married. So what's wrong with me having a look through his phone? We have to be open with each other now. So no time like the present to start looking around and seeing if he's had anything hidden from me.
Is that so? I'm glad you were so open about the relationship the two of you have. Thanks. So, why are you texting me right now?
I had asked you how old you are, and I want to know why someone like you is continuing to text my man when he is already taken. Did you not just see that message? Just by the looks of the photo he has saved on here of you as the profile picture, you seem to be pretty up there in age. Perhaps you're almost in your late 30s now? And why do you look so close to him in each and every one of these photos? He is my man. Mine!
Huh? So you're telling me that's your reason for texting me out of the blue? Don't you see that that sort of reasoning is a bit rude as well? Just because of my photo, you're going to judge the age I am and what relationship I have to someone like Kevin? Is Kevin really going to be getting married to someone of your likes? Unbelievable. I thought he could do a lot better.
I'm sure it's so painful being that jealous of me, right? But I'd be careful, because if you get that upset in your age, you might end up bursting some blood vessels. You wouldn't want to die now over you going out with another woman's fiancé, right? You are far too old to be working yourself up that much, so calm down, please. Although, I'm sure you can't calm down right now, considering you have to talk to me. Well, I'll make all of this quick for you, as long as you give me an answer to those questions I had.
I am a bit younger than you assumed at the age of 29. And when it comes to the relation I have to Kevin, I happen to be his older sister. Hence why in all those photos you see me either hugging him or sitting on the couch or whatever next to him. And as of right now, I am single, but I'm working a job I really love and am able to do all the time with freedom. So please, do not feel as though you have any right to look down on me because of my age, when I'm living a life that makes me happy. Now, could you go back to focusing on your wedding and everything with my brother that's coming up soon? I would feel even more bad for the guy if he had to learn you wasting all your time fighting his older sister over such a simple misconception.
Wow, you're going to try saying that you're his sister of all people now? You really are like some old aunt or something, huh? I guess the moment you have to bring up your age and that you're single to anyone, you go right to saying you at least have a job that makes you happy, so it's okay. Well, I know those excuses all too well. I really want to focus on my job. I am too busy to work right now for a man. I have so much going on with my career right now that there is no time in my life for a man. I'm so happy to see another middle-aged woman resorting to the classic excuses of having work instead of a man at your age. And forget about acting like his older sister, all right? Because I know she's not you.
How about you just ask Kevin then about me? I'm sure he'd tell you exactly who I am.
Sure. I just love to waste my time doing that.
I answered your question now, so please leave me alone, as I don't have the time right now to let you get on my nerves. If you have anything else you want to talk about in the future, go through your boyfriend instead. Now never text me again about any of this, please. Kevin, are you going out with someone named Janet right now, who you are planning to marry soon? I know this question is a bit sudden and all, but I just need to know.
Huh? Yeah. Why do you, of all people, know about her already?
I knew that you had no clue about this. I'm sure what I'm going to be telling you next will then come as a big surprise. Yesterday, I got a few texts from her out of nowhere. She seemed really in the mood to start a fight or something with me. Just by how rude she was getting answers from me, and about how much she talks about her and your relationship. Are you and her alright right now? Has she been up to anything that sort of rubs you the wrong way?
What? You got some text from Janet yesterday? At what time? How was she even able to learn about your phone number in the first place? I've never even talked with her about you before, nor have I ever given her your contact info.
That's something that I'd really like to ask about myself. Well, I had heard her explanation yesterday, though. She told me that after you guys had fooled around last night, you fell asleep at the hotel. And as she was looking at your sleeping face and bragging about it, she was looking through your phone and came across my number. She said that she then copied it to her phone and started to text me.
Huh? She was talking to you about something as personal as that? I'm sorry, but she should know better than to talk about our private activities. I feel embarrassed now. You're my sister of all people.
I'm sure she doesn't know that yet. By the way she was talking to me, she made it seem like I was in love with you or something and jealous of the things you both have together. And honestly, I'm not as concerned about any of that private stuff. I'm old enough now to understand everyone does things like that with their partner. Now tell me, did you really end up giving her the password to your phone?
Yeah, I did. I'm not doing anything wrong, so I thought there'd be nothing on my phone for her to find. She had asked me to tell her my password before, so I told her. And well, I don't mind having my password inside her head, but using it to go into my phone and steal your phone number? That just doesn't sit right with me.
And she didn't even text me from your phone. Rather, she used her own phone to message me last night. And I feel as though she has my information saved in her phone now. I don't like that at all, Kevin. It feels like this won't be the last time she'll text me about things like that.
I don't feel alright about any of this either. But I'm sure she was just playing around at the time. She's not that bad of a person. I'm sure she had a reason for it, right? Maybe she just wanted to make sure you were really you, and that she had your phone number correct in her phone?
No. I don't really think what she was saying last night was okay, though. Do you? Last night, she really did not sit right with me about the things she was saying. She started calling me a middle-aged woman and things like that, when I'm only just about to turn 30. And right from the moment she started to text me, it felt like she wanted to start something.
Is that really how it felt? I'm sorry, Sandy. Let me tell you something a little interesting about her. Janet happens to have me on a leash at all times, and wants to make sure that I'm always hers. A lot of people will call her cute and innocent, but that's just a mask that she puts on covering up the real Janet. I'm not saying that she's a bad person for being the way she is, but I just wanted to let you know she's very protective of me.
I guess I've never really been around anyone like that before. Well, even if she was trying to be protective or whatever, her texting me like that late at night was a little bit, well, calling me by my name only to turn around and start talking down to me because of my age. That's not a good first impression towards her boyfriend's sister, right?
I'm sure she had just started off on the wrong foot is all. She went out searching for your number after all, right? I'm sure the next time she comes to talk to you, she'll feel more controlled and will hopefully not start making fun of your age again. If you don't mind, I'll watch to make sure that she's not getting too out of hand, alright?
Really? I've always known you as being very friendly towards everyone you meet, but I feel like with her, you're being too nice and are letting her do as she wants. That worries me a little. Are you really okay with her being a very protective woman who has you on this so-called leash?
I wonder. But I don't think you have to be that worried about her and I. I'll go and let her know about what you said and make sure that from here on out, she's a bit more kind towards you. There might also be another reason behind her acting like that, though. She might have just been a little anxious because it was her first time talking to you. And right after, she had just been looking through my phone.
I'm sure thinking of it that way is alright, but you telling her to be a bit more kind towards me, and you letting her get away with stuff like that are two different things. So just make sure you warn her properly so that she doesn't feel as though she can act that same way towards me again. Just because she's protective of you doesn't mean she gets a pass to be as rude as she was toward me.
Alright, I understand. I'm sure being called middle-aged like that must have really upset you then, right?
You know dang well that I'm upset over that. I already know that I'm going into my 30s now, and I have plans for what I'll do as I get older, so there is no need for her to start making fun of me when I'm only 29 and still have my whole life ahead of me. She told me I look like I'm in my mid-30s after looking at my profile picture, Kevin.
Ah, that's a little bit too far there. I'm sorry. I'll make sure to warn her about acting like that. But let's be honest, Sandy. Your profile picture right now looks nothing like you. So why not send me a new photo of you so that I can update it?
I don't want to hear that from you now, too.
I didn't mean it like that.
Anyway, are you really planning to marry someone like her, though? I mean, the way she was talking to me and didn't even know that I am your sister made me feel as though she doesn't care to learn about your family. Are you sure she's not into you because you're a doctor and for no other reasons?
Well, to be honest, she is a bit strange at times when it comes to the relationship we have. And, at times, it almost feels like she's putting a face on around me. It seems like she's enjoying me.
Then maybe she's only after one thing, Kevin. If you want, we can both call and talk about this.
That would be nice.
When I have a second here, I'll give you a call and we can chat a bit more.
Thank you, Sandy. Sandy? By the way, are you going to be coming to my wedding? I thought it would be nice to send you an invitation in the mail, but before doing that, I thought I'd just ask.
Well, actually, I think I can make things work with my schedule. I'm working on adjusting my schedule as we speak, actually.
What? Seriously? So you'll really be able to make it?
Well, you should have already known that I want to be there, right? I get that there was that one scuffle between Janet and I, but this is still the wedding for my little brother.
So you're gonna be alright with work and everything? Recently, you've been having to go on a lot of business trips and been tied up in so many projects, so I'm sure this is difficult for you, right? You also happen to be overseas quite a lot, so it's been a while since we last met. So that must mean this time you're planning on coming back to Ohio for my wedding?
Well, I'm still really tied down with work, but I was already planning on coming back to Ohio for some other things, so I'll fit your wedding in during that time as well. And I'm sure to you my job is really busy looking, but I've worked hard to get where I'm at now in the company. I've made a pretty good image for myself here, so I can do things my own way at times.
Really? You're saying that about yourself? Well, you've always been a really hard-working person. So I think you have the right to say you're viewed well by your company and can swing some things with them. You've been working this job you've always wanted to this whole time, and look good doing it. So it's no wonder you've got some power there now.
Right? So that's why I'm lining things up to be back in Florida during the time of your wedding.
Alright. Well then, looking forward to seeing you again after so long. I'll see you then.
See you then, Kevin. I'm looking forward to your wedding.
I can't believe that you actually came. What kind of nerve do you have coming here to this wedding of all things? Do you really think you can win Kevin back from me when you look even older than 29 years old?
What do you think you're doing? Coming at me like that, wanting to punch me, and then actually throwing wine all over me and using the glass to hit me in the face? What the hell do you have against me of all people, Janet?
Why the hell would the old woman that threw away my man be coming to his wedding? I punched you in the face because I am not going to let one of his ex-girlfriends come storming in here like that. Now you get your sad butt out of here. I'm not letting you take him back.
Huh? Who is this ex-girlfriend you're talking about? You thought I was going to take him from you? Janet, I think you have the complete wrong idea of me.
Huh?
The relationship I have with Kevin, he's my brother, my little brother. I told you this before, but you didn't choose to listen to me. But now that you even heard it from him, are you going to straighten up?
What? Huh? Are you kidding me? This is just some stupid excuse right now.
If that's what you think, then take a look at the guest list. Ah, and I said that I was coming to this wedding last minute, so my name should be written on there at the bottom of the list.
Lori? Older sister?
Huh?
Oh, that's right. So you must be his older sister. Wow. That was just a joke, all right? You should know that all of this was a joke from the start, right?
What about all of that was a joke?
Well, you should know that all of that was a joke. I'm sorry about hitting you like that out of nowhere, though. That was my first time meeting you in person, so I was a little shocked. And well, I just happen to be a very outgoing person, and my gesture just managed to hit you in the face accidentally.
I can totally see how flustered you are right now over what you just did to me by using such a lame excuse as that. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think any excuse is going to work for you now because you punched me in front of everyone. Causing such a mess at your own wedding really shows just how toxic you are.
Well, I'm not that strong of a girl anyway, so I'm sure it didn't hurt, right? I really just made a small mistake with my hands was all. So if you please not make such a huge deal out of this, that would help me a lot. Today is the day of my very important wedding, right?
I'm over this. My brother has even been a bit worried about the things after that first instance, and after seeing this happen to me, he's completely upset with you. I don't think you guys are going to be having a wedding now after that stupid move by you.
What? No, what happened though was just an accident, right? Because I really didn't believe that you'd be coming today. I just assumed you were his ex-girlfriend or something, so...
So you're telling me that if I really was his ex-girlfriend, you would have been punching me on purpose without talking things over first? No way. I get that Kevin is a really kind and open-hearted man, but when it comes to things like violence, he really, really hates it.
But Kevin never even called you his older sister or anything. He called you by your name. As he called you as his big sister, then things would have been different. I had no clue who you really were when you walked in.
We have always called one another by our names, as most normal siblings do to one another. We also happen to be really close to one another, so that's why we are always hugging and everything. I can see why you might see me as more than just a sister at times, but that is in no way an excuse to come up and punch me in the face.
I am so sorry about what happened. Where are you at right now, Lori? Do you think you can come back out here now? Right now the wedding has been put on hold and it's not looking like it'll start again without you here.
You say it's put on hold, but to me, I'd call that canceled.
There's no way it is. I already went all over town bragging about how I become a wife at such a young age. If after doing all of that my wedding is canceled, that's not good.
Are you kidding me? You just punched the groom's sister in the face, and you think that's not worth canceling the wedding over?
Wait, that's not what I meant by that. But you have to see that canceling a wedding for that is taking things way too far. And I'm sure if you just came back out here, things would settle down, right?
I'm not messing around right now.
Huh?
I had tried to look at you open-mindedly because you are the woman that Kevin's been in love with. But after what you've just done to me, I'm no longer going to let my little brother marry a freak like you. Right now I have all my family with me, and they are all pissed after looking at what you've been saying to me. And your parents are here right now on their hands and knees apologizing to us.
That's how serious things have become? Hey, where are all of you right now?
We are all in a room right now gathered around while I have an ice put on my face to get the swelling to go down. And Kevin has been standing next to me this whole time with his face ghostly white as he keeps saying sorry to me.
I'm going to come and apologize now as well.
I don't want to see your freaking face ever again, you jerk. I don't need any form of an apology from you, so just get lost, you freak. I'm going to be bringing something like this to the police, so you better have your wallet ready to pay up.
You're going to call the police? Wait, now that's taking things way too far. That was just a small family fight, right?
Family? I was just punched in the face by a woman I've never met before in person, and you want to call it a small family fight? I was bleeding from my nose for a while there, and my clothing is all covered in blood, and everyone saw it happen in this building still, so you're not getting away with any of what you've done.
I'm so sorry, Lori. I think that I really went a bit overboard there, and I'm sorry about that. So do you think we can please stop it with all this talk about police and getting money from me, and bring things back to normal?
And one other thing, your father happens to be one of my customers. Because of what's happened here today, I think the contract we've had between one another is going to end. I'm sure when that happens, you won't look so good anymore to your own family. But this all comes down to having been your fault, so you're going to learn not to act like a total jerk ever again.
Huh? Wait a second. Don't you feel that something like that has nothing to do with us? What are you even talking about, Sandy? Have you known about my father before knowing me?
Yes, that's right. When he came in here to apologize for you after hitting me in the face, I realized who he was. He happens to be the CEO of a small company that works closely to the company I'm a part of. But after today, I don't want anything to do with any of your family. So after today, I'm going to have the contract him and my company have had together torn up and thrown away.
Wait a second, please. That really has nothing to do with what I did to you today. Him and his company have nothing to do with the rude things I did to you, all right? So please don't punish him for it.
But his company does have a lot to do with this. If I continue to let him work with me, then he's never going to realize just how much of a failure he was as a parent for raising such a rude freak like you. I'm going to have your parents be just as responsible as you are for punching me in the face.
Why would you ever do that, though?
I think you and your family should prepare for what's going to be coming next. I'm not sure if all your actions had to do with you having a leash on my brother or because you are overprotective of him, but someone who thinks they can resort to violence like that should be punished for it.
But in my case, I still haven't really experienced the real world yet, so I'm not totally familiar with all the rules in society yet. I'm going to try a lot harder now to act like an adult, so would you please just let me go?
Just hearing you say something as ridiculous as that has made my blood boil. You thought that I let you off the hook for an excuse like that? And you think that I let your father get away with raising someone as sloppily as he has for that? Well, I guess you're right. You are still young and haven't fully learned all the rules in the real world yet, so I'm going to help you out right now.
I had planned on becoming a housewife right after getting married to Kevin, but now I think I'm getting myself a part-time job and come to learn what this world is all about.
Well, you can go do whatever you want, but just know that Kevin isn't going to marry you anymore, so you're not going to ever become a housewife at this rate.
Are you being serious? But I still haven't come around to finding any work just yet. I had been thinking that my whole life would be about being his housewife. I can get a part-time job for just a little bit to learn about the world, and then become his housewife, right?
I don't care about what you want, Janet. By the way, while we've been chatting, Kevin has been looking into your past a bit more. Have you been messing with one of his actual ex-girlfriends?
What? No. I was just trying to scare them a little bit so they'd stay away. Actually, I went ahead and gathered all of the numbers of the women he's been talking to lately.
He knows about how you found one of them and hit them as well, and about how with another one of his ex-girlfriends, you tripped her, spraining her ankle. I don't think that any of this is even remotely okay, do you?
Well, I was just making sure none of those crazy women would ever try laying their hands on him ever again.
Then, can you tell me why you happen to have a lot of your own men lined up for you?
What? Why do you know about that?
Well, I had just assumed you were that type of girl. And so, after looking around, I found out that you used to work as a host, and you got paid pretty well doing that sort of work. And because of that job, you have quite a few men attached to you still. I know that you're not working as a host anymore, but what's going on there?
No, that's, you could say that those guys are all just, I don't have any attachments to them anymore.
So this is why you're being such a witch then. Because you've been doing some not so good things behind Kevin's back, you're paranoid he might be doing the same. And to stop all that, you've been taking out his ex-girlfriends? Well, the reasoning doesn't really matter to me now, as long as you're not going to be with Kevin any longer.
Please, I will change after all that's happened here. Can you please let me go to talk to Kevin about all of this?
Kevin doesn't want to talk to you anymore. He's learned all about the real you today, and nobody in my family wants you around anymore. Please, learn after today that the way you are now is not going to cut it in the real world. You are too toxic of a woman for any man to want to love at this point, so your best bet is to find a job you really like and start working and learning from that. Now, have fun in the hell that's awaiting you after today.
Hey, Sandy. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for what happened yesterday, and that I'm happy that you didn't end up getting hurt any worse because of Janet.
You don't have to be sorry for her. I'm just glad now that all of the family hates her for what she's done.
That's true.
Did you ever figure out what her deal was with being so distant from you, by the way?
From what I could tell, she really only wanted to be with me for my money. But of course...
Of course what?
Of course that wasn't the right thing to do on her end. And now she's going to have to pay for that and a bunch of other things.
Well, she deserves it, that's for sure. I've got a meeting now in a couple of minutes, so can we talk more later?
Absolutely. Once I've had one last talk with Janet, before letting her go and letting you handle her father.
I'll talk to you again soon then. After that, the marriage between Janet and Kevin ended up falling through, and she tried to run to him crying for his forgiveness, but it was already too late. After a while, all of my family had cut ties to Janet, and because of that, I decided it wouldn't be necessary to end the contract with her father. But even with the contract still standing, life for Janet hasn't been all too great back at her parents' house, where she's living the life of a shut-in, locked up in her room. I also made sure to bring up the assault with the police, so even if Janet tries to find a job or anything, it's going to be very hard for a company to want to hire her. Especially since they are going to follow up with her about what happened, and might even need to take her into custody, depending on what my lawyer will want done with her. I was thinking just a small settlement from her would suffice for the damage she did by hitting me, but we'll just have to wait and see. This may not be the life Janet was bragging about to everyone, but this is the life that she needs to live in order to learn. So I'm hoping in time, this all teaches her one of the most important lessons in her life, and she never acts like a complete idiot again. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, Sandy. I hear that you've started to live together with my parents now. Is that true?
That's true. Your father had always been taking care of me, ever since I was a little girl, and so I wanted to do something for him in return.
Really? I know this is a bit fast, but do you think it would be alright if I come over sometime soon? I mean, if you were willing to let both of them move into the house with you and my brother, then that means it should be fine for me to pay a visit now.
What?
It's not like that house is even yours, so I should be fine coming over there without your permission, right?
Wait, but this is my house. I was the one that put a lot of money into the place.
What are you going on about? I know that the house is my dad's, alright? You don't have the kind of money that would allow you to build and live in a house like that. You really have no idea what you're lying about, do you?
But I did have the kind of money needed for a place like this, and that's what allowed it to be built here. And if you come out here right now, that's not going to help anything in terms of your relation with us.
Huh? Why not? It's not like you have any children of your own, so what's the big deal with me coming over soon with all of mine? Anyway, I'll be over there tomorrow as soon as I can to show the house to my kids. Make sure to have food ready for our 6 mouths, alright?
Ugh.
Sandy, thank you for letting me in today.
Don't thank me. Sorry for not being more welcoming and caring while you were around. Hopefully the pizza was to your liking.
You really don't have to feel sorry about something like that. And the pizza was fine for being frozen. Now, I wanted to talk about your house and how freaking massive it really is. Don't you find that a house like that is a bit too big for someone who doesn't even have any children currently?
I'm not sure that's how I feel, but...
I'll be moving into your house for good now with my 5 kids. So an unproductive woman like you needs to start opening the place up for us, please. There is 5 kids, and I was thinking with there being 3 extra rooms there, 2 can be for the kids and 1 for my husband and I to sleep in. So start placing those orders for things like the bunk beds and such, as well as a queen-size bed for my husband and I.
First of all, would you please stop carrying on with the conversation when I haven't even said anything yet? I may not have any kids, but that has nothing to do with my house and how I feel about it. And currently, I have your mother and father living here, which is more than enough people for me to take care of when I come home from work.
You're going to use that excuse again? What are you to my dad, really? Because you're making it always sound like you owe him something.
Your father was the one that saved me from that car accident that I was stuck in when I was only 5 years old. And when it was soon found out that my parents were both pronounced dead, he took care of me in their place and made sure I was a happy child.
Oh my god, so you owe everything to him then?
That's kind of how I think about it. If your father wasn't the one to have been there at the time of the crash, it would have been a while before anyone else saw it and called the ambulance. And in that time it took, I would have most likely passed away as well.
The thing is though, none of what happened then has anything to do with me. Starting tomorrow, I'll be back again, and with everyone and all of our things in tow.
What?
After all, I have 5 children with me, right? The house I've been living in now has started to feel really small and constrained for me. It just had me thinking about how I've wanted to move into a new place here soon.
But wait, this place is my house, and something like that won't be possible for you all.
Huh? You and my brother are married and can have kids, right? Yet you both still have not made one. So how about you both move out of there and into a small little place like I've been in? I think that would get you both to be a lot close with one another and finally try for those kids I've been making this whole time.
But this is my house.
Shut the hell up about that already. What has gotten into you today? You think that a lie like that will never go unnoticed? All of your childless women all turn out to become the same kind of liar. In a house as large as that one, there's no reason for a childless woman like you to continue living in it, right? And like I said before, there's no way someone of your likes was able to have a house like that built in the first place.
Ugh.
For a house of that size to have a woman who doesn't want to make a family living in it, it's a complete waste of things like space and money.
I see. Then I guess I have no other choice but to leave it to you.
Finally. Thank you so much for doing that, Sandy.
Sandy, I heard a lot about what's happening from Diana. Are you really planning on leaving the house tomorrow?
So you've heard. Actually, what happened after Diana came over to hang out this afternoon? She told me that this house is too big for someone like myself, and that I should just leave it for her to move into. She'll be bringing all 5 of her kids as well, and will be taking the house over from us.
Diana's going to do that? Are you sure?
I'm very sure. She seems to think that the one that had this entire house built wasn't me, but you and your money, Dave. In her head, she can't see someone like myself having the money and everything to build a place as large as this.
That child. So she doesn't even know about how you've been a doctor this whole time or anything? And to think with a husband like hers who was saved by you, she'd be more than aware of the kind of person you are.
I'm sure her husband hasn't told her anything about his doctor was me, though. Especially when all she ever brings up with me is the fact that I have no children yet.
Sandy, I'm so very sorry for what my daughter said to you. Think that she'd be acting in such a way to someone who I saved long ago. I think I've seen enough from her now. I will be going ahead with my plan of cutting ties to her now.
I know that you used to love her a lot as your daughter, and that you've helped me a ton with making sure she didn't have the wrong idea of me and such. But seeing as she's still not learned anything from all those cases, I think it's time we give up on her.
Very well then. I'm going to act like I never even knew the woman, because that's how much I'm fed up with her right now. I've been trying to deal with her behavior for so long now, and I can't afford the energy to put up with it a day longer.
Sandy, do you think you can come back over to the house for me? I'm not against having taken this house from you and all, but with the house being so big and all, 5 kids of mine having a blast in the house all the time, the chores have started to become a bit too difficult for me to handle. So could you come back here for me and help out with all of the cleaning? I don't mind if you come later this evening to help with it all. I just need you here sometime today, please.
What? What are you talking about right now, Diana?
You can't be serious. I'm asking you to come back to this house today to help out with the chores for me.
Hold on. How about you figure something out with all of that? Since you're the one living there with all of them now. I have a job and everything that I need to be at.
Huh? You don't even have kids right now, so you have to have a lot of free time right now, correct? I'm being kind by allowing you to come back over here and take care of the chores with my kids. Since you don't have any kids, oh, this will make you happy, right?
Hey, could you cut it out bringing up the fact that I don't have kids every time you want something from me?
What the hell?
It's really getting on my nerves now going on and on like that about me not having any kids. If you're so against me not having any kids at my age, then you're better off not talking to me at all, alright?
Huh? What's this all about? Are you getting upset with me now over what I said? So you're not going to help someone out even though they're saying they need support? Having to raise 5 kids is a very demanding task, you know. What kind of nerve do you have, turning away someone who could really use your help right now handling all these children and the chores? As someone with no kids, you have no right to be saying no to me. If you come back here and help me out, I'll forgive you for what you just said. So hurry it up and get here, please.
Diana, do you really think it's still a good thing for you, of all people, to be talking to me like that? Up until now, you've already had your fair share of treating me like your housewife. But that's not going to be happening anymore.
Huh? What are you going on about now?
You need to learn what you've done to others like myself, and hopefully that will teach you a lesson. A good lesson.
Sandy, what do you think you're doing not coming back to this house like I asked you to? You need to come here and take some care of my children as well.
I'm sorry, but I have no plans of ever going back to that house again.
You're still going on about how you're actually going to stay away from here? Well, I've been telling your childless ass to come back here so that I may show you what it's like to have all 5 of them piled up in the house. Could this be you picking on me now? By not actually coming forward and saying that you'll help me care for them? That's totally fine if that's how you want to play this game. Everyone has moments like these where they just don't listen to what they've been told.
I'm serious. No matter what else you have to say to me, I'm not going back.
What the hell? Why are you being such an asshole to me right now? That's why. Because having to come back to this house all the time is a pain for you? If having to make the back and forth is too much for you, then I'll let you move in.
What? What are you going on about now?
You can stay in the garage with the car. It's not like we're using it for anything else, so you can go ahead and live out there.
You're saying I can move into the garage?
That's right, Sandy. You'll be on the same property as us, and won't have to whine anymore about this place being too far away from you, right? But since I'll be allowing you to live here again, you have to do everything for me that I ask.
You're asking me to live in the garage.
With that, I'll see you soon. You listen here. I was just kicked out of that house you claim to be yours. What the actual hell is going on here?
That house happens to be my house, and I have the right to do whatever I want with it.
Huh? Stop screwing around right now, would you? You knew how we were all living there, right?
Not really. I never once gave you and your family permission to come and live in my house like you were. You just forced your way in and started to squat there with your kids.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I'm not even able to get in touch with my dad anymore. Do you have any idea where that old man ran off to?
I have no clue as to why you and him aren't talking to one another much anymore.
God damn it! What is going on here? I cannot believe what is happening.
I'm the one that can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
Huh?
Since you happen to be Dave's daughter of all people, and since he'd done so much for me, I never said anything about you before. But I really cannot stand sitting around playing dumb anymore.
What the hell are you trying to talk about now?
I have been saying that that's the house I had built and owned, yet for some reason you continue to think it's your father's and told me to leave. And just when I was moved out and thinking you'd never talk to me again, you start to ask me to come back and do the chores for you? This isn't a freaking joke anymore, you dumb bitch.
Huh? Asking you to come out and help isn't that big of a deal, right? You have to have a lot of free time on your hands, so what's wrong with you coming out and being family?
I literally have no free time anymore. I have to work every day from close to 12 hours a day. And if there ever is a day that I have off, which can be very rare, I'm not going to spend it going over you and doing all of your chores.
What the hell, Sandy? The fact that you don't even have a single child means that you should be happy to come over here and experience what it's like to have kids for once, right?
I never asked to have that kind of an experience. I would love to have kids someday, really, but I am stuck with a body that can't do such a thing.
Oh my god, I knew you were infertile. You really want kids and all, but your body is too weak to have any. You poor thing.
How can you say something that way about me?
Huh? What are you trying to get at there?
Have you never thought about how anyone else feels when you open your mouth, Diana?
Well, I would think about that, but then I remember that you don't have any kids like me, so I don't really care for how you feel. Sorry about that.
So that's how you're going to play this game.
What was that?
Just a second ago, you told me about how your father is no longer replying to any of your texts or calls, right?
That's right. I knew you knew something about that.
Right now, your father is helping me out again.
So then, you tell me what the hell you're both up to right now.
You'll find that out today, I'm pretty sure.
Stop trying to beat around the bush about me and tell me right now. I don't have time to sit around and wait any longer.
Diana, I'm gonna be cutting ties with you now.
Hold on, Dad. What kind of stupid joke is that you're trying now? Were you told to say something like that to me by that asshole?
That asshole? Are you talking about Sandy right now?
Of course I am, Dad. Who the hell else would I be calling an asshole right now? Now, I want to talk about the damn house, Dad. I just lost the one and only place I had to live. So what am I supposed to do now? Where the hell even are you right now, Dad?
I never thought that someone like you was so self-centered before.
Wait, what are you even talking about right now?
I am partially to blame for never doing anything about that attitude sooner. But after what's happened this time, I can't deal with you anymore.
Then tell me what the hell you're going on about.
Diana, not only did you take over her house from her, but you started to go on about how she means nothing because she hasn't had any kids. And then you went on about how she needs to care for your kids to make up for it, and experience what a true mother feels. All you've been saying and doing to her has been complete and utter bullcrap.
Why do you care? That's all you have to say to me? Well, the thing is that I meant everything I've done and said to her. For a woman to not have any kids at all makes her anything but a woman. Having to say something like this about her really makes me want to vomit. But I told her that she could move back into the house with us by staying out in the garage and taking care of my kids. I said that she could do that, yet she had the nerve to say no to that.
You said something like that to her?
Considering she's never worked a day in her life before, she has to have so much time on her hands. Yet she went ahead and ignored my offer like it was nothing to her. And And then she went and sold the freaking house that we were all living in. Can you believe the crap that she's pulling right now?
Unbelievable.
Right? Seriously, that childless bitch is the worst, right?
The one who I can't believe right now is you, Diana.
What?
What makes you think someone who isn't working would be able to build a house of that size and everything?
No way. Like I was saying to her, you were the real one who paid for that house to be built and everything, right? Either that, or you were the one who gave her the money to do so, right? For someone who says she owes everything to you, she has been taking a lot of your money and time still.
I haven't done anything, though. The house was made using the money Sandy earned throughout her career, and that's why she was the one that allowed us to move in.
Wait, what was that? So that woman has had money this whole time? Well, if that's the case, then right now she should be helping me out with all of my problems, right?
Diana, you're still going to say things like that about her? You know who the hell it was that allowed you to have all those children? It was Sandy.
Huh? You're lying about that, right? I haven't heard a thing about her being a doctor or anything like that.
Ugh, of course you haven't. Just like your mother, you and her never once done anything to care about your family's issues.
Huh?
Did you forget about how when your first child was born, she had all those health issues? As I remember, it was your husband who went through all the work of making sure she was treated at the hospital and all for you. Well, the one who jumped in to help out with all that was Sandy.
You'd think I'd be able to remember something like that from so long ago.
But she's not the only one Sandy helped. All of your kids were delivered by Sandy and were cared for thereafter in order to make sure they all stayed healthy. And time after time, your husband and I made sure to bring your kids to her for help.
Well, if neither of you ever told me that, how was I supposed to know it was Sandy? And what does it matter that she helped my kids? It's just a coincidence that she was at the hospital all those times the kids needed help.
There really is no helping a selfish waste of life like you.
Well, I don't care about you anymore either, Dad. I'm going to head to wherever Mom is at right now, so you tell me your address this instant.
I'm not going to stop you from going out to be with her now, but your mother and I are divorced now.
Huh?
I left your mother to do whatever she wanted all those years. But after having spoken to her about you and Sandy and all your issues, that's when I learned where you received that helpless attitude from.
Helpless attitude? What did Mom say about it?
After I told her about how it was Sandy who had gone and built the house which she allowed the both of us to move into when we were having trouble, she started to go on about Sandy's money. She said to me that she has that kind of cash right now. She'd fake being sick and weak and use that as a way to get money off of Sandy. At that moment, I lost all the respect that I had left for your mother and started to think about leaving her.
Dad, I'm so sorry, alright? I promise that I'll make all of that up to you. So please, just rethink divorcing Mom and let us move in with you all.
I'm sorry. The only choice I had was getting that toxic woman out of my life. I think it's time that you both learn what happens when you forget about everyone else's feelings and only care about the lives you live. Because those fruits you guys planted are finally beginning to ripen.
Wait, Dad. So you're just going to abandon both Mom and I now? Dad, you have to wait a second. I am really sorry for all the things I've done. I never thought that someone like you, Dad, would be able to say all of those things to me after doing all of it.
And the same goes for me. Never thinking someone like you could say so many terrible things to my daughter-in-law.
Listen, you do something about my dad right now. How dare you use all of those things that happened in the past to try and trip this family up now? You're the real bitch here for trying that. What? Things from the past? What do you mean? About how you went and saved my first daughter's life, and about how you went and gave my mom and dad a new house? Everything that you've been doing has only been for your own benefit.
You can't say something like that about me. I never asked for any of these things to happen to me, so don't act as though I put everything together for this exact moment.
Huh? Then why the hell is my dad choosing now of all time to talk to me about what happened in the past?
I have no clue why, Diana. I'm sure that it has to do with him being fed up with you is all. I think what your father is doing now is what any person would do who has a backbone.
God damn it, you've gone and used my dad like a puppet. Why the hell do you have to do me in like this right now? The only person I have left now is my husband, because both my parents have left me.
Huh? Does that mean your husband still hasn't come to talk with you about anything yet?
Huh? What the hell is going to happen now?
I spoke with your husband about what was going on recently, after he came to me asking.
Why would he want to ask you? And why did you say anything to him when our family is none of your business?
I didn't say anything to him right off the bat, but rather he came to ask something from me that he was worried about. He was really concerned about how, for the longest time now, you have never really seemed to care about any of your 5 kids that much.
Why would he go and talk with you about something like that?
To be honest, I can't really tell you why that is either. But it was me who took care of all 5 of your children from the moment they were born. And I think that history is what made it all the more easy for him to talk about what he had to ask.
What the hell? I'm the one who's his freaking wife of all people. How dare he go and talk with someone who has nothing to do with us? The first thing your husband told me was that you, of all people, never listened to anything he had to say to you, and that's why he had no choice. And he told me what he wanted to do was divorce you. Huh? He wants to leave me now, too. I'm not joking around about that kind of stuff anymore, alright? If he leaves me too, then what the hell am I supposed to do? And just as I had thought, you're not worried about your 5 kids or anything, but just yourself and what you're going to do. Huh? From what he told me, your husband is already in the process of getting full custody of all 5 of your children. He told me that he can't trust you to take care of any one of them on your own. Sandy, I'm so sorry. I am seriously sorry for everything. I will apologize to you for all the things I've done to you up until now, alright? It's way too late to be thinking about apologizing to me now. Please, just go and talk with your husband about all of that now. But you're the only person I have left to ask for help from. What am I going to do about all of this? You're the only one I can hear anything about my husband and my dad from now, since they both won't respond to me. If I'm all alone now, there's nothing else that I can do. Is that all you have to say to me after finally realizing that what all I had done for you? And what all you had done to me? Unbelievable. What? After this, you and I are never going to be seeing one another or talking to one another again. I don't want to. Goodbye forever now. Wait, hold on a second. Sandy? Forgive me, please. Dave, a lot has really happened since this whole conflict started, but thank you so much for being there for me.
What are you talking about? I should be the one thanking you for all you had done.
But if you had never been around for me and on my side, then there would have been no way for me to have taken things as far as we did with Diana.
But I am sorry for her, for what she did to you. And it wasn't just my wife and I who have been treated so well by you, but Diana and her husband's family as well. There was no way for someone like her to have been so selfish after all you'd done.
Thank you so much for realizing that. And by the way, are all those kids doing alright right now? Since none of them have come to my place this past month, I've been wondering about their conditions. It's a good thing they're not all coming to the hospital anymore, but I do miss talking to all of them here and there.
Ah, you've been worried about them. Don't be. Their father said that he no longer wanted to be a bother to you anymore and has moved out of town with all 5 of them, and will no longer need your assistance.
So that's what ended up happening. Well, as long as all the kids are doing fine over there, then that's all that matters to me. But you know, I would occasionally like to meet with them. Having looked after all of them from a young age, they are kind of like my children to me as well.
Well, if that's what you like, then how about we throw a barbecue together here soon?
That would be splendid, Dave. I'm really looking forward to that. Ah, if that's something everyone will be interested in doing, let's go ahead and have the barbecue over at my place. This new place I'm living in is much larger than the last in terms of outdoor space, so I'd love to put it to some use this summer.
That would be so helpful. Thank you.
And another thing, if you don't mind, would you like to move back in with us? Your son and I seem to find that the more people we have at home, the more fun life is.
Sandy, thank you so very much for thinking about me like that.
No, please. Thank you for always having thought about me and my feelings. Diana and her mother started to live together with one another, both working jobs to try and support themselves. Diana was able to find work at a factory where her mother was living, where she would have to do 12-hour shifts 4 times a week and would make all right money doing so. And her mother ended up with a job as a cashier, where she didn't have to move around too much at her old age. However, with her mother being so lazy all the time and always calling off from work, she would force her daughter to stay home and take care of for her, making her always miss her own job. So in the end, she would be fired from the place she had found and have to start looking for another one. But of course, with Diana not being much more active than her mother, she fell into a rut too, and soon, those two both went into debt trying to maintain the lifestyles they had before. During that time though, they weren't able to pay their rent in the small apartment they had been living in, and ended up getting kicked out of it by their landlord. This also became a serious problem for Diana, because she was no longer to borrow any more money because of all her credit cards were maxed out, and so she could no longer pay child support to her ex-husband for the 5 kids. I heard that a huge fight broke out between her mother and her on the street, and during that, a loan shark which Diana's mother had been borrowing from paid them both a visit. It was there that they both had the crap scared out of them, and were told that they had 1 month to start paying off her debt, or else there would be some serious hell to pay. And so, at this point in time, those two have moved out to this unknown island, doing some kind of very dangerous work for not that much pay. But at least now they're starting to pay off their debts, but that's not going to last long as soon as Diana is going to be paid a visit by the court.
wanting to know why she hasn't been paying her ex-husband that child support. When it comes to myself, I am living in a new house with my husband and his father. I ended up getting the place a few days after leaving my last house with my husband, and we made sure that this time it only had enough room for him and I, plus one guest room for my father-in-law. Thinking he'd be even more stressed out after having to go through a divorce, it turns out that she had been sucking away all of his energy the whole time they'd been married, and now he's currently a changed man with so much power. Of course, he doesn't have the same abilities a kid would have with that energy, but he still has all sorts of things to do with us that are really letting him enjoy his life. Pretty soon, here, there is something my husband and I will have to tell him, and that has to do with us both wanting a child. But of course, since I am not physically able to make one, we have been looking at adopting, and we just came across the perfect boy that we love to bring into this family. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.